My name is Frank Turner, I'm a singer-songwriter from London. I think, like most people, I've had my ups and downs with mental health. I have had a lot of very difficult issues in my personal life to do with my family over the years, and to a degree I think part of me kind of going out and going on tour forever had quite a lot to do with getting away from that. That also at times in my life has led to issues with substance abuse and drinking and stuff like that as well. So I've definitely had better days and worse days. I've sort of, in the music that I'm making in my music career, I've sort of tried to do stuff to sort of highlight these issues, working with groups like Calm and stuff like that. I had a thing a few years ago where, partly because I had a partner in my life who hopefully will be my partner for life, and partly because I realised that I was doing quite a lot of talking the talk without walking the walk. I actually got involved in some type of therapy called CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, which has been life-changing for me on a personal level. I mean, I'll recommend it. I think that there are lots of different approaches to mental health, and I think that everybody has to find the one that works for them, but that was the one that really did wonderful things for me, which is nice to be able to say. So, and I now sit here as a 36-year-old man embarking on my 10 gazillionth tour, and I'm in a much more sort of stable, happy place than I possibly ever have been on the road, so that's a good thing. I think that mental health problems, it's quite sort of humbling in a good way. It's sort of, I think once you realise that that everybody is flawed and everybody has things to deal with this on this level, hopefully it can make me a bit sort of more considerate, I guess. I mean, I try and you know, be gentle with people who I'm disagreeing with and that kind of thing, in part because, you know, they might be having a bad day. It's also, I mean, it has spurred a lot of my writing as a creative artist. I'm not sure I fully subscribe to the idea that, you know, you have to be unhappy to write good music. I think that's nonsense. But I've definitely, there's a symbiotic relationship between my mental health and my art, in the sense that, like, it has given me things to write about, and it has also helped having music in my life. I think the message for anyone struggling with mental health issues is just the first and most important step is communication. It is the easiest thing in the world to think that it's just your problem, no one else would really care, no one else would get it, you wouldn't want to burden somebody else with it, they might think it's trivial, you know, you can just suck it up and deal with it, you can just tough it out. All these kind of things, which are all things I spent years thinking. And actually, it's far from perfect, but there's a much better infrastructure in terms of professionals. Now there's much more sort of public conversations about it. But also I think that just in terms of general social attitudes, I think that people are much more receptive to their friends or their family members opening up to them. You know, not everybody has somebody they can open up to on that level, but then groups like Calm exist to fill that gap. But just talk about it. Just tell someone. And I don't mean that to say that in a way that sounds like it's a simple and easy thing to do. I completely understand that it isn't. But just give it a try, because you'd be surprised. I chose my personal item. I chose a guitar, which is sort of obvious, really. I started playing guitar when I was about 10, and initially it was a bit of just kind of nerd obsession, and there's still a bit of that in me. You know, I try and play for hours every day. I like to play for hours every day if I can. I mean, some days you have time, some days you don't. But it's also, it's never let me down. The music's always there. Whether it's writing songs, or indeed, actually almost more so, is just sitting down with guitar and playing a great song that somebody else wrote. The music of John K. Sampson in particular has been a huge assistance to me in terms of my mental health, and I can play most of his songs. And if I'm ever feeling down, that's generally what I do. So yeah, I've chosen my guitar.
That's great, thank you very much.
Easy.